say break. Woof.
Exactly what he's trying to do with parking that cue ball.
I mean, look at the split he's left. That might be the... Take everything else out of it. That, for me, almost objectively, is the perfect break.
Yeah,
you can't break better than that.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it, when that happens? You know, parking in the middle of the table like that, it always looks better.
And look at the split.
Yeah, what odds on these two not getting this layout? Big believer in not giving it to them until they get it. I mean, well, they've gone wrong on the first shot, but there's recovery shots out there.
Yeah, it's not exactly right. They've got to find a line between a lot of balls. The way they're split apart is beautiful, really.
Yeah, when I said they've gone wrong, that wasn't the ball they were playing on, but it didn't matter. They were still absolutely perfect on it.
Plenty of room there then for Mr. Melling. Greg Waddingham is punched down here. It's just come off friction.
Yeah, honestly, considering how good this layout was, this is as hard as I thought they could ever make it look, and this is not perfect. It's a poor angle. Forced it in.
Yeah, and he's only managed to get back to the middle of the table. I mean, it's still a tough shot, but it's one you'd absolutely expect Chris to make. He's more looking at the line of the cue ball than anything else here, just to make sure. Tough shot. Avoids all the traffic, but stays on the table just as he maps it out. So, considering the break and considering the layout, they rather made a bit of a meal of that, but they got the job done.
It's why I see I really get frustrated, especially when you're talking to a lot of people around full venues, and they go, well, that was an easy layout, well, that was an easy layout, that was an easy layout. That's as easy as it gets for two players at their level. It's one shot went slightly wrong, and then it just kept on never being perfect, and now we're working hard, and obviously the execution of the last two shots had to be very high.
Yeah, it's what we say a lot, isn't it? It doesn't matter how good the layout is, you've still got to play however many it might be, 5, 6, 7, 8 good shots. If any of those isn't a good shot, you've then got to play, you know, an equal and opposite reaction. Like, you've got to play a better shot the next time. Lovely break from Aidan. Sledges those. A great chance here.
Explosion's getting bigger. Wow, that just absolutely pinged. So, layout-wise, what are we looking at here? Red doesn't pass the 8 ball, so it won't be reds. Yellow right in the middle of the top cushion. I think there's enough room for the 8 ball. I don't think we need to worry about the 8 ball on yellows. It's all about the one on the top. Sure he wanted to make both there. The way he played it, it looked like he did, but there'd be some major benefit to having the yellow sitting over the pocket right now.
Oh, wobble that in.
Yeah, this is a little tricky still. It's a tough one along the top cushion. Sending the cue ball down a line that isn't ideal. Best you could hope for here is middle of the table. Then you're thin. Question how much room there is for the 8 ball. 3 potentially good shots, certainly 2 required here.
I mean, this is cash ball. Really good shot required. And this yellow. That's not the biggest problem. Can he hold the cue ball just behind that 8 ball? He's going to
really
run,
well.
but yeah, he'll take that. Excellent shot. Very good from Aidan Hughes, who gets out of dodge. That is victory against Chris Melling, so it's Craig Waddingham who will have the next singles frame.
Both those frames were made to look a little trickier than they perhaps could have been. Slightly harder layout, of course, for Aidan than it was for Chris and Craig in the opener, but it was good enough to execute those last 3 shots. Certainly the 2 before the 8 ball was very, very good.
Frame 3. Frame 1, wait. 1 frame.
That one didn't get the sort of explosion that you might expect, and it is dry for good measure. All right then, Matt Brierley. These are the openings that we talked about. You're so under it in this format because there's so little margin for error, because the races are so short. But for Matt Brierley and Aidan Hughes, they're also bang under it because they know their chances are going to be limited against 2 of the best players in the world, so every single one of them they get, it's got to go.
Yeah, fiddly finish as well, but every yellow has a pocket, the 8 ball has a pocket. Can you connect them all together and find the key pattern? Yellow on the left-hand side is the one that catches my attention more than the others. The one below the reds is not too much of a bother. If you could land on that one on the left-hand side nicely and early, you'd get out. Can you get there?
Delightful.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
That couldn't have come out much better, I don't think.
Didn't necessarily need to go into it, but essentially it helps the pattern.
He'll get rid of this yellow north of the cue ball just to get it out of the way more than anything else. Struggles to get better on it than he is now. Make the case for the yellow just north of the cue ball as it is now, but I think he'll save that down the table first, or is he going to take it?
Yeah, I think he played on it. I think he's played on this to go up the table. It was always about, for me, getting on this ball straight into the centre is what I thought they'd be looking at, but into the corner works just as well. Well, I thought it might have been straight enough to go through, and then you've got the one on the cushion, so is he happy with that as a drop in the centre, or is he backing himself just to make it top left, which works. If you get right behind it, you'd expect to make that. I guess from a pattern perspective, this is the clean way to go, because now you're just working your way around, so get yourself on this and on to the next one. 8 ball's going to be waiting. May have left this a touch straight, just off straight, to land nice. No, he's okay. He can force this up.
Just as Aidan's yellow was in the last frame, this is the big time ball. Visit hangs on this. Nails it.
That was fabulous. There was a lot on that, and he didn't land as good on it as he would have hoped as well. Excellent shot.
Well then, Matt Brierley and Aidan Hughes win both their singles frames against Craig Waddingham and Chris Melling, and crucially they did them both in one visit. Chris and Craig haven't played a shot open break for Craig in the last 2 frames, and let me tell you, I can't say this from experience, but just from watching a lot of it, the best way to beat these 2 is by not letting them play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of going. Don't let them have a chance at the table, for sure. But it comes down to, do you get 4 chances to win a match in the race to 4? If you do, then can you take them? And they've had 2.
Leading 2 frames to 1.
And the way this match is rattling along, they need 2 more.
Cue ball stays up, yellow goes in. It's a little nudge that is nice to get.
Just got that tip deep. Talked about that a little bit earlier on, so the cue ball rips back and it then gets pinballed around. You get that tip higher, it comes back and just comes back at a better pace and ends up in the middle of the table. But the power's still enough driven through the pack, so the chance is there.
It's a weird one. It's almost like a ripcord. It almost feels like it comes back quicker than it actually went to the pack. The gap they've left on for this yellow's lovely as well. Low, is that a fraction far?
It's not ideal, hampered queuing, but they are on this yellow to bottom left. The issue is that they're leaving the tricky ball, which is the one they're nearest to now. That's the problem ball. They really could have done with getting rid of the yellow underneath his hand now to open up the other yellow. So I'm not sure it passes to right centre. If it does, it's not as big an issue.
And that is purely through being hampered. Just raised the tower for the shot, and Aidan Hughes puts one in. Dangerous game, letting these two at the table.
Yeah, there is room for that red as well to right centre, so every red has a pocket here. So it's just about connecting these together. Big disappointment, that one. That's the layout there. That one, that might be the moment we come back at the end of the match and go, that was the moment they needed to take and grab hold of this match.
Well, it's the difference, just in scoreline terms, the difference between 3-1 and 2-2. It's a huge frame, this. You know, I love the way that the pairs is set up in terms of the Scotch doubles. The Scotch frames always carry so much weight. First frame, last frame, this middle frame, there's such swing frames.
Yeah, only time this frame ever doesn't feel like a swing frame is if it's 3-0, which does not happen very often in the Players' Cup.
But even then, do you mean? No, because even then, my point still stands. It's then the difference between, oh well, you know, it's overall, you know, they might be back in it.
Yeah, it's absolutely, you're absolutely right. It is huge. Plenty of angle left on this one to the top of the table to make it natural to come down. Just find the line. Just widen it so you miss the 8 ball. And absolutely perfect.
Back in the hunt are the Silver Snipers. 7:25 and ticking to go. Clock will only stop, remember, at 5 minutes. 𝗏𝗃𝗃 gets to work. He struggles to find a man who can wrap his set balls quicker than this man. All smiles now, this pair.
Frame 5. Chris Melling's bridge.
Chris's previous break was very good. Park the cue ball in the middle, left. Dream layout.
I think it's dry. Now then.
One red's gone
to show
upward.
difference that last frame. I know it's very much if, buts and maybes, but this could be the frame to win the match.
Yeah,
As it is, they'll still take it.
They'll take it, but it's tricky. The yellows are tricky, and the one red is causing an issue on the left-hand side. Does the double go? Do you just back? Because the reds are, other than that, the reds are absolutely perfect. So do you just back yourself to make the double? I don't like playing into the red because you're going into it from high.
I think the yellow might be the double.
I think it is as well. I agree. So you have to go into it, and you've got the angle now.
Oh, I liked his thinking. Wants to go into it from underneath to try and bump it towards the middle pocket.
Yeah, if you go into it directly, you're knocking it into 2 yellows, not guaranteed to come out. Trying to go underneath it and come back up, and the yellows are they're in the way, they're awkward. If you get the glancing blow, you don't get the red moved. So the big problem is a bigger problem now.
How do you solve it from here?
Well, the plan, I suspect, is just to go through here, leave the one top left, 3/4 ball angle, and then you are going into it. And this time around going into it, you should have it moved quite nicely, as in there isn't 2 yellows there. So there's every chance, and you've got 2 reds near pockets. So the chances of this going well, if you get a solid contact on the red, are very good.
Oh, perfect. What a shot.
15-second shot.
Actually left himself a slightly awkward angle there and had to get some good rip on that without over-hitting it.
He played that perfectly.
Yeah, it was a really, really well executed shot. So it could have been a little bit easier than what he left himself, but brilliant shot. We'll get out from here, almost certainly. So they are back in front. I have to say, Matt's turned up tonight and looked really confident. I know he had that huge moment earlier on, but he's looked sharp from ball one. It looks like he's playing with a lot of confidence at the moment.
This for the leads with less than 4 to play. Brilliant from Matt Brierley. What a finish that is. That was not easy, and particularly after the first attempt to break it open went awry, it raised the tariff of that finish a lot, and he played a really, really brilliant shot to break it back open again.
It just looks like he's striking the ball really well. The recovery shot, once he missed the breakout to top left, got himself back in position to give himself the second opportunity at it, but he's striking the ball with authority, really hitting it nice and clean. Looks good here.
Frame 6. Aidan used to break, leading 3 frames to the top.
Monster break. Well, they're all there in front of you. These are there for the taking for a huge victory. I think it'll be reds. Get yourself on the one on the right-hand side, second shot. Once that's gone, half a problem on the left, but it's not that big a deal. Could he done with being a little bit better on this red on the right? He might not go for it now. No, he is. He should. Not landing nicely. It's quite big. Disappointing thing there for Aidan was that there was no need not to get better on it than that. You had a red into the centre pocket, just top it through a little bit. Okay, you're going up the table, but the straighter you get on that shot, easier it is. And immediately, Craig just opens up the one problem ball on yellows, or the original problem ball. So there's a new one now at the bottom of the table. Gives himself a great chance.
Shot. Played that really, really well. Was recognised straight away by his old mate in his corner.
Would like to have finished a ball higher, just so that he could have gone on and off the bottom cushion and got the cue ball up near the straight to left centre. Only danger here is that does the cue ball go a bit funny? Has, if this 8 ball doesn't go up the table, has to hit this really well.
And has. All right. You're all set up. Goes the 8 ball. 1 minute and 13 seconds left. We are 3-all. Decider time.
The draw isn't terrible for both of them, but They both really want to get that victory. It's the controls in their hands then. They have the control going into their final match of the night. Draw keeps them live. The win is huge.
Yeah, draw's not a terrible result because it just means if they match each other's result in the final round of fixtures, we'll have a 6-red shootout. But goodness me, the difference frame here would make to both of them. 72 seconds remain. Deciding frame. 𝗨𝘁𝗰𝗵 with the pack in his sights. Can't believe it's dry. I can't believe that's dry.
These reds are good as well. These reds are really good. Haven't got time to waste here too much.
Extension.
It's all about getting on the red on the right-hand side by the centre pocket and getting onto the next ball afterwards. But the rest of it, I mean, what have they wasted? They've wasted, what, 20 seconds here, 30 seconds?
Longer, yeah. Playing the red off the red. They've got to play it yesterday.
They've used half the clock on one shot.
Ooh, now then, don't know if there's time. Chris Melling would back himself to clear most tables in 30 seconds, but even for him, with a little bit of help from a friend, I think this one's going to be too much. And he very much thinks so as well. Craig Waddingham's like, come on, we were in there. But Chris Melling takes a pew, and, well, it's honours even. So the match ends, it's 3 each, and they both go into their final matches of the night knowing that a 6-red shootout may be all they get for their troubles. Oh, this is now a very, very interesting group. 2 matches to come in week 2 of the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup.